are the truth in this whole world, you are a lucky man. If knowledge hangs around your neck like pearls instead of chains, you are a lucky man.
Good morning, 6 minutes past 6. Mr. Brazil will be here very soon, but in the meantime, the Sports Breakfast, and Kieron Dyer is alongside me, Ian Abrahams, and I say Al will be with us in a second or two. First of all, Kieron, welcome to the show.
Morning.
How are you?
Tired?
Tired? You're not tired, do me a favour. Some great guests coming up, and I know a lot of them you'll have played with or against. Tim Sherwood, the former Aston Villa manager, former Spurs player and Blackburn player, is joining us. We'll have Mark Schwarzer as well this morning. We've got Mike Tyndall looking ahead to the rugby. But first of all, I want to get some ideas for you about the back page of the papers, because some of them make some really interesting reading today, and I just wondered for your take on them. First of all, Daniel Sturridge is a player you'll know well on the back pages of quite a few of the papers. Basically the Daily Mail and the Daily Mirror, set to quit Anfield. Now, you had your injury problems in your time, so you will empathise here with what Daniel's been going through. I
do. All you want to do is play football. He's an exceptional player. I think he's got the potential to be world class. You've seen just in flashes this season what he brings to Liverpool, and his manager's been quite public with the criticism about him. A lot of people don't know that some players, they get misdiagnosed with their injuries. It happened to me quite a bit, but you have to keep your mouth quiet. Liverpool need to keep him, and he needs to be a happy Daniel Sturridge, because, as I've said, what he's done this season when he plays, he brings a different dimension to their game. So I've got sympathy for him, and hopefully it gets resolved.
I never did it with you. I've got to be honest, I didn't do it with you. But sometimes people in the media will say, you know what, he just feels a niggle. Does he really want to play? I mean, when you're an injured player, how much does that hurt, and how much do you desperately want to just get out on the pitch to prove you still want to play?
How bad it got for me, because I was so worried about what people thought with my injury record. I would do my hamstring in like the first 10 minutes. I know times when I was at West Ham and I'd go to Scotty Parker, I've done my hammy, and he'll be like, you need to get off, and I'm like, I can't. So I'd play on with a grade 1 hamstring strain until half time, because I was that embarrassed about coming off. So to say that players need to be 100% to play and stuff like that, that's not the case. As I've stated, I'd have hamstring strains and refuse to come off because I was so embarrassed.
The big man's here now, so yeah. I'll let the pro get on with the job, Al.
I thought you were great moves.
Fantastic.
How are you, Kieran?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, what time did you leave? About 2?
I stayed over. I stayed over. They put me up in a lovely hotel.
What, the YMCA around the corner?
Exactly.
Top sport budget is not as good as it used to be, let me tell you.
It's because you've took all the budget of it.
Oh, but yeah. I'll get a helicopter in next week. It's a joke getting into London, honestly.
Kieron Dyer's Player Roulette.
A birdie for Rory, 3 under, but still a long way behind Annie Els over in Dubai. But a birdie and a smile for Rory. Right, Kieran, you've played with some of the world's greatest players in your time, but our listeners really want to know what these people are like. So we borrowed the roulette wheel from the famous Empire Casino in Leicester Square, which will spin completely at random now. It'll then land on a player that you've had dealings with, Kieran, in the past. All you have to do is tell us your honest thoughts about that individual. So if you're ready, Kieran, DJ Ed, let's spin that wheel.
Black 35, Craig Bellamy.
Wow.
How long have you got?
Craig Bellamy. People don't realise that he's probably the most dedicated pro I've come across. He wanted to do everything possible to make himself a better player.
Yeah?
When he was at Norwich, he wasn't rapid. He was a fast player.
Yeah.
He became rapid because he got in his own sprint coach, did Olympic lifts and Olympic squats to make himself quicker. So he's the most dedicated pro ever come across. And when you see him arguing with his own teammates or falling out with managers, it's because
or taking a golf club to some of them.
He wants he wants everybody else to be on his have his mindset of doing everything they can to make themselves better, and if he think players are not doing that, he's going to tell them on the pitch. But yeah,
Well, apart from Newcastle, something in common with Craig, because you're a wee spat, didn't you? How's Lee these days? You say send Lee a Christmas card?
Last time I see him was at Bobby Robson's golf day. Again, very passionate person. He attacks his own teammates on the pitch, but off the pitch, he's a great guy.
but going back to your point, Bellamy, people probably don't really know the real Craig Bellamy.
No, they don't. He's got his heart set on being a manager. I think he's completed his pro licence.
And he's got to give you a ring to fast track you through the Welsh FA.
Exactly. He says he's Mr. Wales and he's got all this pull and clout, but he obviously hasn't.
Ed, please, one more.
Red 18, John Terry.
John Terry, yeah. John Terry is probably the slowest player I've ever come across. But when do you see John Terry getting exposed, like one-on-one?
It can't be that slow, is he?
He's really slow, but he never gets exposed. That's how great a leader. He knows where the ball is going to be.
So Chelsea should give him another year?
I think so, because do I think he's performing better than Cahill and Zuma? I do. But Chelsea have this thing at the moment where when you get over 30 at a certain age, they're not giving contracts.
Although they could be backtracking a wee bit now. Could be.
I think John Terry coming out with a statement has put them in a rather strange position. But again, John Terry, considering he has got no pace, what a defender. And people don't realise how good he actually is on the ball. Obviously, everyone used to talk about Rio as a ball-playing centre half, but John Terry on the ball is up there, fantastic. I think you see with one of the goals he scored this season when he had that back heel flick. He's very good, very talented player, and he was world class in his day.
Yeah. Okay, Ed, third one, please.
Green 0, Lee Bowyer.
I didn't know that was coming, sorry.
Yeah, I did. It was obvious. Lee Bowyer, again. People think that after we had that little spat on the pitch where he attacked me that we were enemies and that. But straight after the game, he rung me up when I was driving home. He apologised, said he lost his head. He's lost his head a few times in his career. And we were friends straight away. He's a great lad, one of the funniest people you'll meet in football. I don't know if it's true, but I heard a rumour that he was with Harry Kewell, is it, at Watford, helping him coaching or something. And I never have seen Lee Bowyer as a coach.
I think he's got a carp lake in France.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he's bought his own lake. He loves his fishing, and you wouldn't put Lee Bowyer with fishing and something so calm either. But a great lad and someone I'd call a friend.
Yeah, lovely. And what about, we got a bonus ball, Ed?
Black 29, Graham Souness.
Oof.
Graham Souness is. I've had many managers and many coaches in my during my career, and he was the only one I was petrified of. I remember getting in trouble once at Newcastle for an off the pitch escapade.
Altercation?
Yeah, and he called me in his office and he said, if you're ever in my office again for something like this, I will beat you up. And he was dead serious. He said, I will beat you up, and just looked at me, and I was sizing him up and down, and there's no chance I want to fight Graham Souness. So yeah, he is a scary
just give
man.
Chris a ring.
I think you'd take Chris. Trust me. Chris only used his hands. I think Graham...
Was Graham too strict as a manager? I know he went to Liverpool and he tried to change things quickly.
I remember we were in the UEFA Cup semi-final, I think we were, at Newcastle, and he's a very old school manager, and I think Laurent Robert did an article at the time in the paper, and it came out the morning of the game, and Graham Souness came on the bus and he flung the paper in his face and told him to get off the bus. Said, you're not ever being in the squad again, blah de blah. And Laurent didn't play in the second leg. We won the first leg 1-0, and he didn't play in the second leg, and him not playing probably cost us going to the final, but he was so stuck in his old school manners that, hey, you're taking the thing. So yeah,
but a fearsome character on the pitch and off the pitch.
Yeah, he was, like I said, I was really scared of him in there. I probably played my best football. Honestly, I had a season when he was manager where I was playing at such a high standard, and that was all down to him, and probably because I was scared that he might beat me up.
Oh, there you go. Coming up to 9:45.
Oh,
Chelsea,
stirring it up.
Arsenal. Kieran, really enjoyed it today. Safe journey back to Suffolk, or Essex, sorry now, Suffolk-Essex border.
Yeah, yep.
I'm heading that way as well.
Brilliant, hasn't he?
Friday's amongst us, Murray Mint.
He's been brilliant. I loved it when he stuck it to you in the WWE. I loved
Exactly.
that.
How
you're
can
not
you-
He's always having a go at the
You're
WWE.
not-
How can you not like
Oh.
WWE?
It's like slagging off Coronation Street. You can't do it.
I've got wrestling fans all around me here. God, thank God it's Friday. I'm going to the pub.
Shock. He's done you again right at the end of the show. Okay, you can come back.
If you found the meaning of the truth in this whole world, you are a lucky man. If knowledge hangs around your neck like pearls instead of chains, you are a lucky man. Takers and fakers and talkers won't tell ya. Teachers and preachers will just buy and sell ya. When no one can tempt you with heaven or hell,